My journey to Germany began in April 2022. It just happened. I learned about an exchange project between Ukrainian and German museum workers from the Ernst von Siemens Foundation. One of the museums in the program was Ludwig Museum in Cologne, which had a collection of Russian avant-garde art, including many Ukrainian artists. I decided to accept this challenge and try my hand at it. First, I went to Warsaw, went to Berlin, and then to Cologne. I've been working at the Ludwig Museum in Cologne for almost a year now. At first, I had to adapt. I realized that the impact of the full-scale invasion made it hard for me to pursue complex intellectual work, but my soul was eager to do something. So I started with educational projects for Ukrainians. I give lectures and tours of the museum's collection about Ukrainian artists in the museum's collection, including Malevich, Bohumasov, and Ekster. Then, together with the museum, we organized a large summer camp. Children were coming to the museum and spending the whole day there. This was planned to relieve some of the burdens on single mothers who came to Germany with their children, saving them from danger. At the same time, I was researching the collection. One of my first accomplishments in the museum was removing the text about the Russian avant-garde from the museum space. I am grateful to the museum who were open to such changes. It was very symbolic. There was only an empty wall where the text used to be. I immediately remembered how, before the invasion, I helped prepare the Odesa Art Museum for evacuation. I remember these empty walls of the Odesa Museum and their terrible symbolism. And here is this empty wall, which for at least 5 minutes announces a certain historical justice. Next came the painstaking work of adding more Ukrainian context to the museum text. We brought Bohumasov's work back into the museum space, added Yeremilov to the constructivism department, and briefly explained Kharkiv and Kharkiv constructivism. There was a principle of expanding geographies and maps of perception of avant-garde centers. And while the last 60 years in the Western museum world and in the Ludwig Museum have focused on Moscow as a center, here we started to include centers like Kiev and Kharkiv. The last battle for identity I won was the transliteration system adopted by the museum. From that moment on, all the works, place names, titles of works, names of Ukrainian artists will be transliterated from the Ukrainian language. The most difficult thing for me in Germany was and stayed the battle for presence. It is a constant struggle to find common language and understanding. When your country and its culture weren't seen and recognized for many years, you need to explain and communicate more, sometimes facing misunderstanding and stereotypes. It is sometimes very exhausting and challenging. But as Taras Shevchenko once wrote, "Keep fighting, you're sure to win."